So
There is no presentation from your side. Any
I'm
PowerPoint
doing it.
presentation?
I'm doing it.
You can share it. Yes, I can see. Okay.
Yeah.
So, good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, I'd like to invite the speaker, Mr. Prakash Sharma, who will talk about AI interventions for agro projects. I now request the speaker to begin. Thank you.
Thanks. So let us begin with this first session where we are talking about the digital transformation for agriculture projects. To begin with, what exactly is a typical agriculture project? The project is all about an individual having a farm or someone having a thought process in the mind that they want to set up one food processing unit, or it could be something to do with sericulture or vermiculture, or it would be as good as watershed management. So agriculture as a subject, it is vast, and there are multiple disciplines in agriculture. And the moment we need to bring in an IT interventions to agriculture, that concept is known as digital transformation. So digital transformation is all about how we are going to use the present day tools, technologies to improve the agriculture processes, which can benefit the farmers, which can benefit the various stakeholders who are involved in the agriculture ecosystem for the respective organization. So it could be for an individual farm owner, or it could be for a cooperative who may be having multiple agriculture piece of land within their portfolio, or it would be with reference to even a bank who lends loans to the agriculture farmers. It would be helpful for individuals who want to set up a food processing company and who subcontract and procure it could be vegetable, fruits, flowers from contract farming. So anything where an IT intervention is needed, that concept is known as digital transformation. So let us look into it. So shedding the hype, reclaiming the ground truth, and structuring high-end environment assets. Okay. So first and foremost, what is the meaning of sovereign? Sovereign is something which is an independent agriculture. Like each and every organization would want to have their independent digital transformation. So usually, most of the companies in agriculture, they may not use a state to fit solution. There would be some customization. There would be some improvements. That is one of the reasons many ERP, enterprise resource planning projects, have failed in agriculture. Okay, and we'll get into those like when I'll explain. So shedding the hype is uh, farm to retail full ecosystem platforms. Many startups are already existing, but all will know that logistics becomes an issue, and then because of the logistic overheads, the startups eventually fail to actually deliver on time. So reclaiming the bronze is taking a very basic step-by-step implementation for MIS. I'll give you a background about myself. I have worked with Bias Development Research Foundation, which is a leading NGO. We in the initial years of my career, and almost all the agriculture and farm management solutions, including the sustainability of farmers, improving the quality of life, all the solutions we used to build. And we always understand one bottleneck in digital transformation is that the farmer is not well versed with the IT technologies. Okay, and maybe the farmers' kids may be experienced in IT, but they may or may not have time to actually do a day-to-day monitoring. So this is where the chicken and egg story of digital transformation begins in agriculture. So let us look into the diversity of Indian agri projects. We have high yield cooperatives. I explained to you. Cooperatives are organizations who may have tons of farmlands under their disposal, and each farmland may be having their respective farmers, or it could be farmer groups, and you need to keep a track of inventory. The inventory of commodities is most important, as all of you know that. onion price, sometimes it becomes, it raises too fast, or sometimes it becomes, it falls down. Under those cases, under an immediate survival for fittest kind of an arrangement, do you have warehouses which we can transport the goods? Okay. Do we have a turnaround time? And do we have the logistics to support that particular turnaround? Whenever these kind of hard questions starts coming in, so obviously there is a need for software solution. And that's what we keep encouraging most of the early bird startups who want to get into food processing unit, who want to get into agriculture, who want to get into farmland management, who want to get into precision farming. Have a roadmap for your project, and along with the roadmap, also think about the digital transformation intervention. So we go into this high value specialty farming. Now, what exactly happens is, I'll give you an example, a case study, which we did it for. We had a farm management software, Produce Pack. Okay, it's a USA based company, and I'm talking of early 2010, when a lot of MI solutions itself were not there in agriculture. And I will take this example over here. I'll just open my screen and I'll show you that procurement and sourcing MIS. Okay, so this is very simple, like to track exactly which farmer brought which what crop, quantity, date, location, and uh, they mentioned that this is an MIS solution. This is an MIS solution, and this MIS solution is something which all can use it. So it was an Australian-based company with .NET as a technology, and I also thought that in India we needed to bring this particular solution, and we started getting inquiries. Okay, so one of the example of an inquiry was in fact, Jalandhar, where there are a lot of potato farms, and one of the biggest challenge over there was that they were not having any tracking. When we say tracking, means they were not also having the manual records, and they came up with only one pain point, that see, if there is one particular temperature, if it we need to keep the potato under one particular temperature, and in case if the temperature falls down, falls below one x percent x degree, we need an alert. Means what? There was a need for an sensor-based solution, where they wanted to, for them, the warehouse management was more important than the farm management. So they had tons of potatoes spread all over, and they said that if the temperature is not maintained, then most of the potato will get rotten. And this is one step of digital transformation, that can be used sensors effectively to monitor the temperature of a warehouse, can be used sensors effectively to monitor the soil NPK values, okay, which is needed for the nutrients in case if you want to have a good yield. So one is the IoT interface lessons learned. Obviously, this particular software MI solution was not having that kind of so they had plugins, okay, but in 2010s and all, the plugin interfaces were still cumbersome. The sensors procurement was also cumbersome. So one of the digital transformation requirement felt need in the agriculture ecosystem is interventions of sensors and modernized warehouse management. Now, the problem comes in when the farmer is having a turnover of 3 lakhs to 5 lakh rupees in an annum, and someone comes and says that no, you build one cloud platform solution where you can exactly log this farmer's inventory. The issue comes in that they don't understand how to enter the records also in the computer system, and that is where a felt need of training is needed. We need the agro scientists, we need the agriculture aspiring students to understand and start using and using the technology and tools which can help the farmers and the next gen farming companies. Okay, when we say next gen farming companies, we have seen a lot of trend where someone is in the Middle East and they want to open one food processing unit in India. So first lesson learned is that definitely we need sensor intervention if we want to go in for precision farming and so on. Well, this concept is known as digital transformation. Now, we took this particular lesson. Then in Karnataka, I won't name the company. They were into contact farming. So the contact farming was for gherkins. Okay. Now what we realized is that they had very good automation of gherkin production, and their sister concern were into exports of roses. Okay, in Ethiopia. So please understand that one of the problem which they were having is that they said that we are giving the farmers in advance the fertilizers and pesticides and all, and we actually predetermine the gherkin cost before even it is getting produced. So there's a big risk. The company is actually taking care of the fertilizers and all need, but they wanted one entire contact management software solution. So we have to understand this procurement and sourcing MS in the inventory and freshness. Why this freshness becomes an important? Because if gherkins are going to reach to that particular factory for after 2 days or 3 days, then it's a problem. In case if you are not able to have the agreed quintals, okay, of vegetable reaching out, then it's a problem. So what happens is the companies also take a lot of risk. They want to track what kind of fertilizers, pesticides, advance money which they paid to the farmers, and on that they want an MIS report. So again, most of the companies, mid-sized small agriculture units, at this moment of time, they may or may not have an contact farming software also in place. So this is where we are talking about that. Do we wish to monitor the age, volume, storage location, and shelf life status of raw material? Okay. In case if it is needed, then obviously there is a digital transformation. Now, why this is needed? Most of the companies, most of the farmers typically want to sell their produces in the export market. That's what I told you the example of rose. Rose production in Ethiopia, it will cost a production of maybe 0.25 cents. Okay. And it gets exported to USA at $1 per rose. So you can understand the cost economics means in terms of rupees, it is like 25 paisa to 5 rupees of production. Okay. And 5 roses you're exporting. So the margins are definitely good. But the criticality is, are we monitoring that entire farm management implementation? Suppose we harvest rose, or we harvest grapes, or we have sugar cane, or we have pomegranate. Whenever there is an export coming into picture, there is a stringent demand for quality norms as per the European requirements. Okay, so typically what happens is they are interested in understanding the leaves, whether the leaf is having one disease, whether the fruit is having a disease, or a vegetable is having a disease. So this is where we are talking about this freshness MIS. Okay, so one more. So high quality, high value specialty farming, I've already told you, wherever there's an export, you will obviously need to have quality norms. And when quality norms come in, you need to actually monitor each and every production batch. Okay. So the flow is something very simple. There is a produce, that produce comes to one particular factory. In the factory, it undergoes one transformation. It could be cleaning, sorting, grading. These are the typical processes. And from this particular process, you are coming up with some reports. These reports, in as a copy, you need to give it also for the export companies who are procuring it. Okay. And there are stringent requirements for all the traceability. That the whole concept is known as traceability, where right from farm to retail, that traceability plays a very important role. You should not get confused with the app traceability, because that app traceability is not going to give you that farm location where this particular produce got produced. So, uh, high value specialty farming is maintaining the full traceability. Let us look into this farm to retail pipeline. Now, in the farm to retail pipeline, we always find that there's a middleman. Okay, when we say middleman, it could be distributor, it could be dealer, it could be anyone, whatever, whoever are the stakeholders who are involved in this particular transportation. What happens is why that particular company in Bangalore decided to have an upfront price set for the farmer that okay, I'm going to purchase gherkin at so and so price because that export pricing is not changed. You cannot change the export pricing. But now what happens is, suppose suddenly there is one transport strike, or right now you can see the fuel issues. When this happens, automatically that whole pricing model gets disturbed. It, suddenly there is a GST and all. Can we build a software solution to accommodate these kind of sudden changes in the environment which is beyond your control? This is where when you start developing software, this concept is known as digital transformation. So, linear chain collapses there, volatile price spikes. You need to understand, and we need to keep a track also. Like, okay, this particular produce was for 10 rupees kg in the month of July, and in the month of September, it was at 25 rupees per kg. Now, why this particular kind of tracking is important is because sometimes many of the farmers they have their own warehouse net, so they may prefer not to sell certain products when the price is less. Okay, so that entire traceability of when to sell a produce, when not to sell a produce, or there you may also these days take a help of AI, and that we can cover it in the next session. But what we are trying to tell over here is that price spike changes, okay, the logistic management, everything you can implement it through the digital transformation. Now, why predictive AI models fail? AI stands for artificial intelligence. Uh, these days, there are many applications which come and they say that, okay, we can actually give you a prediction of what you have to produce this year. Okay, so someone will say that I want to you produce bajra, okay, this year because bajra yield is coming quite well. Now, one of the problems which the farmers fail to understand is that this particular app is telling you bajra, but if your soil conditions, your own land conditions are not favoring bajra production, so you are heading for a disaster. So typically, what happens is concept is known as ground truth gap. What is ground truth? At the field level, what exactly is happening? What is your farm condition? Are we using sensors and doing the soil test, slope test? So these all are the small digital transformation initiatives which a farmer or the cooperative, whoever wants to take it, it could be maybe a service from an organization. Okay, soil inspectors. So this ground truth gap is where the AI prediction models totally fail, and we can very well understand that most of the farmers they say that what are you telling, we don't understand because in our farm it never grows. Now there are very large companies who what they do is they set up their back offices in rural areas, and through the back offices they keep asking questions, okay, to the farmers that okay, today what, this year what you are producing, in kharif what you are producing, in rabi what you are producing, what kind of fertilizers you are using, and on that particular basis they try to improve the fertilizer. Sometimes the farmer will say that this year the entire grape plantation has got damaged, so they improve their fertilizers and seeds. So we have multiple large cooperative MNCs also who have set up their operations in India, and their digital transformation is more towards building solution for disease monitoring. Okay, means it could be plant disease monitoring, it could be food disease monitoring, it could be vegetable disease monitoring, and this is where the artificial intelligence is used. That we can cover it in the next time. But what we are trying to tell is that you have to understand that in digital transformation right now we are begin using the AI. Okay, and for that you need to have clean data set. If I am going to create simulated data set of plants and vegetables or fruits, then the results are going to come improper. Okay. Now we go into the quality audits. Now, what exactly, why we are putting more stress on the quality audit? Suppose there is one particular farmer who is having nothing. Okay, they don't want to even invest in MIS. They don't want to invest in innovation. But at the same time, there is a possibility where that particular farmer can actually give one particular details about what crop they are growing, what is their annual turnover, okay, and what kind of family background they have. Are they taking loans, okay, from banks? What kind of stress they are having, okay. So as a holistic MIS intervention, when a company starts bringing change to a particular farmer, that concept is also as an extended digital transformation, okay, digital transformation for well-being of farmers. So this topic is very huge and vast. Okay, it needs continuous effort. We need to get into the ground realities of what is exactly happening in the farm, and on that basis, we are just giving a compliance asset. So we, as Pcombinator, where we have Farm Board as an initiative, we give a compliance assessment on that particular person still wants to do an export. They are hopelessly again hope they have a potato and they say that no, can we get a distributor or a dealer who can export it to Middle East or in Europe and so on. For that, there are some requirements. Okay, there's a government requirement. There is a requirement from the respective country. Those kind of gap analysis is something which becomes mandatory. Okay, is your soil in good condition for that particular produce? And then the process effectiveness. Process effectiveness is what there are so many government incentives where they said set up a food processing unit. I won't name the food processing units. When you go to a food processing unit, sometimes they are not even having a hair cap. So what if a hair will fall on one particular food element and it goes as a packaged food? Immediately there's going to be a disruption and there's going to be a reputation brand damage. So process effectiveness is for the aspiring agriculture students or agriculture officer is how exactly a process is a set of steps, okay, to complete one activity. How these steps are being run in the company. Is it manually done? Do you have one software intervention? Do you have one hardware intervention? What exactly is your methodology for implementing one farm management? Oh, there that process effectiveness becomes important. Improvement identifications, obviously, when we do a compliance audit, we do the process measurement, we'll have areas of improvement. Okay? Then the operational efficiency is self-explanatory. You have to put water in a farm without fail at 6 a.m. every morning, afterwards at 12 p.m. in the afternoon, and again at 6 p.m. at night. Now, these alerts, is it supposed to be done manually? Or suppose you have outsourced this particular project to one particular farm contractor and you are somewhere in other part of the country or city, do you get those reminders that okay, now this particular activity has begun today? The water definitely it was given at 6 o'clock and all. The problem in farm management is what that in case if we skip a process, okay, unlike the software programming where you can delay a software program and maximum you will get one blast. So here if you are going to delay deliverables or activities in even for 2 days or 3 days, the results will be seen the way in which the crop is growing. Or you may have the vegetable or tree or something that in BIF we have been doing MIS right from the 1990s, okay, including use of geographical information systems. So if you want to map one particular land from remote using remote sensing imageries and all, then you need to have a drone these days and actually literally map a plot, and from the plot you include the soil conditions, slope conditions, and then you decide what you want to produce and what you do not want to produce. So improvement identification is one of the steps. Operational efficiency, continual improvement, operational efficiency. I told you timely alerts and accountability. Finally, everything boils down to accountability, whether we have done it properly or not. So one is offline first step. Okay, the real IT solution need. Offline first step, what we are trying to say offline first step is you have some application running in the computer. You can use Excel or you can use even some software which is running in the desktop. You're not taking a cloud. And whenever you want to have the data, if a mobile data, that data you'll move from the mobile to the computer manually. We were doing it way back. Today with cloud, multiple things happen, but still in some part of the farmlands and all, we find that there is no connectivity. Then how you're going to resolve it? So we'll go into this. I told you that batch processing and quality control is what is important. Collect data from the packing cameras and temperature sensors on the factory floor. So just look at this production for export quality. We are actually trying to understand whether that particular factory is literally having cameras, so that what happens is the export, whoever is taking your produce, they have to be very confident that okay, right now your vegetables are growing well or your fruits are growing well. So these days, many of the farmers in the international market, they give that particular visibility to the export clients. Okay, that how their factory is being automated. See, traceability and certification MIS. Connect the final consumer packet back to the specific field block officer and along with the soil test history. See, proves chemical free status or ethical processing. So, is the soil having fertilizers, pesticides, and all these reports also you can share to the export market. In India, you know, it is disorganized. Whenever you go to a local stock market and you say that give me 1 kilo of potato or 1 kilo of tomato, we will really not know how much fertilizers were used in that particular farmland. And cash flow and distributed payout MIS, I already told you that what money is coming in and what money is going out. This is what we need to uh, address it. So traditional MIS platforms fail in rural zones because farmers spend hours typing of rows numbers into spreadsheet. So can we have one kind of an automation? That is what we are doing. We have Sanatan Labs is having this framework, passionate total Kalki Dharma framework. So using this particular framework, we are actually trying to reach out to one particular farmer's family, and we need to uplift the farmer's family through educating their kids on digital transformation, artificial intelligence, and so on. So it's like a zero data entry rule. Is it possible? All this we are going to cover when in the second part we'll be using the artificial intelligence interventions into such projects. But the whole idea is lesser the data entry, better will be the usage of an MIS. Okay, so digital transformation is all about also how minimal you have to keep repeating the data and doing the data entry and so on. So ledger integrity is all about suppose I produced 100 quintals of grapes. From 100 quintals, say we had 100 kgs of grapes which has gone waste. Am I tracking the waste? Am I tracking the how much of grapes was in the local market? How much of grapes was sold in the international market? In international market, at what which countries and so on. If I am able to build a robust MIS where we have a full traceability of how the farm got managed, how the produce came in, how the produce moved into factories for further processing, and from further processing, how it got into the retail market. That whole end-to-end traceability is what is important. So you will see behavioral prompts. What we observed was in the olden days, the most of the farmers, because of the lack of knowing the software and all, they would go and many of them attempted to go to a typing institute and they picked up typing. But now the keyboard of a desktop and the keyboard of a laptop again is totally different. So this is where we feel that there could be a lot of need, a demand for MI solution providers with expertise in agriculture. Okay, and it will be a need because in India we have so many unorganized farming clusters, but with low traceability. Now it brings to a point that in agriculture, one thing which we have to also understand, which I have not discussed earlier, was livestock management. So livestock management is something like cattle, then it could be goat, it could be sheep, it could be birds, it could be chicken, whatever it means. When we say hen, okay. So all this also again, it all comes under one category of Sometimes we call it as aquaculture, fisheries, automation. All these also as an extended arm of agriculture comes in. Okay, and again, it will need a sensor or it will need an MI solution. So let us look into this auditing ecosystem and systematic auditing. We are putting the auditing. Human system collaboration is very important. We need to ensure that the human is always going to be the final approval. So as I told to you, ensure data reported by sensors matches the physical crop reality. So someone has implemented a sensor, but they don't know how to operate the sensor. Okay. Do you have a support maintenance team, or can I train myself on all these MI solutions, become a support system for large MNCs who are implementing these sophisticated solutions in food processing companies? Okay, because you know agriculture, you know the crop pattern, you know the disease pattern, and you also little bit of tools when you learn. So you can become a good diagnostic expert, which is beyond your theoretical domain knowledge in agriculture system. Okay, so passionate to Kalki framework aligns automated algorithm with actual human behaviors on the ground to prevent systematic frauds. What exactly is a fraud? It's very simple that someone steals the produce at the night. Okay. So do we have one fencing alert system? In Karnataka and all, we had seen in the past, there was a very strong complaint of elephants trespassing a land. So how to protect one farmland from elephant? In Pune, pockets of Bhor and all. We have these days even tigers coming, leopards coming in. We have pigs coming in. Pigs damage the crop. Rats, warehouses. Rat is a big problem. So, do we have a sensor-based calibration system where we are able to detect if rat itself is there in that particular warehouse? So, there are n number of opportunities in digital transformation. Now, carbon auditing and stewardship. Now, it brings to an important new development which is happening in the globally. Okay, what exactly it is, I'll explain to you. Say we have one very large company who is setting up a mining unit. Okay, or a company is into telecom. Now, when they are into telecom, obviously, when there is going to be some fuel emission, okay, it could be for the components which are getting produced for that particular factory. It could be the factory itself directly pushing the emissions. So in the international market, these emissions are known as scope 1 emission. Okay. In case of carbon auditing and stewardship is needed as a separate focused session, that we can do it later. But for you at this particular moment of time, there is something known as scope 1 emission. Okay. And scope 2 emission is the emission which is coming out from grid electricity, which is being used for that particular produce. And scope 3 emission is with reference to uh, any vendor who is contributing to your product, their emissions. So one is carbon emission, okay, means what kind of, even when we are sitting and talking, my computer, if it's using a LLM, AI response and all, there is some or the other carbon emission which is happening. Whenever if we light and keep electricity and we keep fans and all on, some carbon emission is happening. To replace the carbon emission, what happens is people talk about clean energy. When we talk about clean energy, that is where the agriculture starts coming in. So, are we having solar farms within the farmland? Do we Are we trying to plant trees? Are we into the ecosystem where more and more trees you're planting for the climate need? Okay, the climate is changing, so for better climate, are we into protection of trees and forest lands? This is where you will see that many of these large companies, they also set up some kind of an eco-friendly tourism, or they talk about say rare animal preservation zoos and so on. So exactly what is happening is, if I am emitting some carbon emission of say 10,000 kgs, if I'm doing this clean energy setups within the farmland, or you're actually taking one particular running uh, uh, nursery farm itself under your custody. So all for all these things you get a credit. So it's like a regular accounting system. How much carbon is emitting and how much we are taking a credit with reference to all kind of conservations for climate changes. Okay, that concept is known as carbon auditing and stewardship. This is now mandatory. All the limited companies will have to submit carbon emission report, and in India also it is catching up. We don't know when it will also move into the private limited companies requirement, but at this moment in time, the limited companies have to mandatorily give a carbon audit report. So replacing general satellite forecast with bottom-up physical validation through carbon storage, you can see over here that you can make efficient use of sensors. You can see over here that energy is one of the most important things. How you're going to have clean energy, that is an important role. So all this again comes as one of the added layer for the agriculture sector. Okay, and then converting physical greening efforts into undeniable institution carbon credits. I'm just taking an example of Tesla. Tesla is into e-vehicles. So for the space, whatever carbon emission they are doing, Tesla is actually providing more carbon credits. They sell carbon credits. Okay, so you can actually sell carbon credits. So these all concepts, I am not sure whether the agriculture college syllabus contains those kind of advanced topics. We are not sure whether the farmers or the food processing units are aware that carbon credit can is one way. You can also take government scheme and put solar panel, and your electricity can become free. One of the biggest challenges in India is when there is heavy rain. At that particular moment of time, how you're going to sit and monitor. So are these sensors going to be waterproof? Where we are going to install that particular sensor? The cost of implementation. So here what we do is we use an industry academic interfaces, and we collaborate with colleges, we collaborate with partners like it could be even the agriculture information news, and we build awareness, okay, for all these various initiatives where digital transformation interventions can be applicable. Now this comes family office wealth portfolio. Many will be very curious that why we are bringing one family office in this agriculture digital transformation unit. Please understand that many large organizations, many sanस्थas, many trusts, they may be having hundreds and thousands of acres of land. Over a period of time, which land is producing what, who is the owner of that particular farm document, who is whether it is an agri land or it is a non-agri land. In a agri land, how much of illegal constructions has happened, what happens to one particular family where a father is there, son is there, and there are 10 daughters or 5 daughters or 3 daughters, and the farm, they have got those daughters married, and this particular guy is happily doing all the farm management and everything, that individual. And suddenly, after the father's death, all the siblings gang up and they say that we are also having a piece of that particular land. So now the dilemma is that this particular person was sitting and having all this farm managed and all, and at the same time, now all are demanding. So suddenly there could be an exit. Many people, they give up farming and they say that okay, I'm giving up this particular farm and we'll distribute and share the money among all the siblings and all. So family office becomes a crucial role largely in farm management, because there are multiple types of farmers. There could be farmers who are struggling, okay, for day to day and meet. Uh, uh, some maybe only at the end of the contract farming segment. But some there will be wealthy farmers, the farmers who have built an ecosystem where they are also into exports, they are also into food processing units, they are having retail chains, okay, and each chain they're given it to different family members. You have seen this mess in Madhya Pradesh. Okay, we are not getting over there, but it was all this whole farmland. How one particular person was procuring the farm, the other person was setting up businesses in that particular farm unit and all. That is the reason there is a felt need for this family office management tools. Okay, and we also facilitated that particular kind of an audit. Technology hype, data integrity plays a very important role. If I am having a farmer's data registered and I'm not taking the farmer's Aadhaar card, or if I'm registering the farmland, but I'm not having the Satbara or I'm not having R Tutara, I'm just giving an example, the land record, then what happens is it becomes a big problem because if suppose a company does an investment in a particular farmer for contract farming, and midway that contract farmer says that this land is only not mine, then what happens? This is where the data integrity comes. Ecology value, I've already told you, through satellite, you can go ahead doing it, or you can go into the ground reality and get it. It's all large for carbon audits. Capital backing, I've already told you that lot of these days startups are emerging left, right, and center for agriculture. But the most important thing is what exactly you want. Go slow. The digital transformation demands that you please go slow and you will get result. If you go fast, then it's going to be an chaos and you won't be happy with the MIS. And I think that is it from my side. If you have any questions, you're free to ask at this moment of time. Hello?
Yeah.
Hello? Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Prakash, thank you for the very detailed presentation. Now I will take up some questions. So the first question is, how can AI help farmers improve productivity and reduce cultivation costs?
So in artificial intelligence, what exactly happens is we need to have a thorough bill of material. Okay. So in a particular land, suppose you can grow bajra also, you can grow brinjal also, you can grow soya bean also. Okay, I'm just taking an example. Now, when these three can be produced in the same land, we need to get the back data of what they have been producing. Okay. And once we get that historical data and the present bill of material for per acre of land cultivation or per half acre of land cultivation, then through artificial intelligence, the model can predict that which will give a better yield. Okay, whether it will be bajra, which will be giving a better yield, or brinjal, which will be getting a better yield, that is very much possible. Okay, prediction AI models are there, but then you need to back it up with historical data. If your historical data is weak, I've already told you that the prediction AI models will fail. Okay.
Okay. And which agricultural activities can benefit the most from AI-based decision making?
The agriculture activities which can make most better use of AI would be disease prediction. Okay. Uh, Disease diagnosis, definitely AI can help. You can actually identify that your crop is going to die, perish. So definitely we have to go in for AI. Lot of image processing algorithms are there, very much possible. Uh, it can also be used to predict the cost benefit analysis. For example, see, you have over a period of time, you have kept growing sugarcane, and for some reason, it is you're not getting the right yield, or onion, and you're not getting the right yield for whatsoever reason. So, under that particular case, we can integrate the software solutions with online rate card from various local cooperative traders, no? Because there are a lot of associations who decide on the rate, and then you can identify whether the rate is going to be, if I'm not going to get the price only for that particular produce, then why even get into it? So that kind of prediction models can be built. Okay.
Okay. And how can AI assist in crop planning, pest detection, and yield prediction?
Okay, let us go one step at a time. One is for crop
Answer.
planning. In
Yes.
crop planning, typically what happens is AI can actually give you a good comprehensive research report, okay, through prompt engineering, where we will be in a position to understand that in Maharashtra, uh, this is the way in which crop cultivation planning can give you better yield. So you can actually get a kind of a cross comparison report across various regions at district level, taluka level, of which implementation methodology is good for cultivating one particular crop. Okay, that all is very much possible. Bill of material provision also, and AI can give you very efficiently these days. Okay, through prompt engineering. Now coming to your, what was the second and third thing?
Yeah. Second is pest detection.
So the pest detection I've already told you. No, see what happens is we did one particular project of where we had one particular uh, produce. Say it is one tomato. Now, within tomato, if there are some ingredients, okay, so there are still experiments going on. So, using a sensor, no, we'll be in a position to identify if that particular tomato is having is because of the tomato with no pesticides versus tomato with pesticides. Through the image detection also, to some extent, these all kind of things is possible. But these all are, remember, these all are R&D efforts. Okay, it needs lot of data, lot of training, but it's very much possible to understand whether this particular produces with pest or without pest. In fact, we did one automation where we had this. If you know this chocolates, then we have these wafers and all this kind of packaged produce, right? So expiry date. So through OCR, there is some concept known as optical character recognition. You were able to identify all the ingredients which are being used in that particular produce, and whichever ingredients are hazardous, that also is possible. So using image processing and using text processing, these days, these kind of predictions are very much possible.
Okay. And next is yield prediction.
Huh. Yield prediction, I've already told you. See, it needs inputs of bill of materials. It needs a back historical data of what produce comes in that particular piece of land and what you plan to grow at this particular moment of time. So you need the bill of material for each and every produce as granular as possible, including the suppliers from where you're going to take the element. Many of the time, people jump into AI without with an assumption that is going to happen magically. Who is going to prepare the data set, who is going to feed in the data set plays a very important role. So without any input of data, you're not going to get good results. So it needs lot of data. At least we tell that more the merrier, but at least minimum 5 to 10 years of data is needed of that particular farm, land, and all. That is the reason we are advising each and every individual, each and every ecosystem enabler that if you want to start using AI, you want to build solutions around AI, begin collecting the data, because if I'm not having data only, then it's going to be a problem, right? If I'm going to say that please predict presently for this particular land, and last year, and I don't have the data of your last year yield, I don't know what yield it gave, what you planted, how much was perished, how much was not perished. It's like a doctor patient treatment. The more you're true to the data, the more you'll start getting the prediction value.
Okay. And what AI solutions are available for small and marginal farmers at an affordable cost?
See, there are multiple solutions which are available in AI. What we prefer, I'll tell you, we need inputs from the farmer that okay, I am struggling in A area, B area, C area. So the immediate solution in AI, what I can think is that suppose one particular farmer says that I am having this piece of land and I am growing A, B, C for this last 5 years, and I am not getting yield, or I am getting only this much price amount. Then through AI, through various techniques, we can actually come up with one research report. Okay, So maybe this can become like a service where a research report is provided to the farmer that okay, with these steps you can get one proper solution. Sometimes they may say that I'm having like one solution we did it for one export company where they wanted to have all types of diseases, no, recorded, and one very comprehensive disease report for their export. Okay, so grape is there. They would want that photograph of the grape. They would want to see the deterioration of the grape. They would want how much percentage of the grape is deteriorated. Means what is the tolerance limit of export? Is it 100% green grapes with not also a single spot? Because each spot becomes a disease. So all these things, it's very much possible. You need to come up rather and say that okay, I am looking out for one AI solution at only X price the farmer can pay in one particular year. Backward you need to identify companies, because the companies, there are a lot of companies who are providing solution from say 10,000 rupees per month package to even 5 lakh rupees, or even it runs in crores. Okay, there are a lot of MNCs who are already giving apps, okay, where you can actually deploy that app and you can put over there all the ingredients, what you are using, consumption, and what yield is happening. So they are already using the data for training purpose. Okay, the point is that in case if we want to seriously get into artificial intelligence support for farmers, the first thing we need to collect from the farmers is that what exactly is their pain point, and for that pain point, how much is the per month or per year kind of service fee they are willing to give. Okay, depending on that, we can actually come up with either only a research report, or we can give them actually some technical tools, because we are building solutions with less than 2,000, 5,000 rupees for this NPK checking and all that thing. So it's very much possible. Means all that data from NPK will go and sit in the cloud. So this is where the AI can be used. Okay. Later on for do the prediction model of why the NPK deteriorates over a period of time. Maybe it is because of the less water or more water in particular month and so on.
Okay. And next question. How can AI integrate with satellite imagery, drones, and IoT sensors for precision agriculture?
In precision agriculture, see, when I worked with Space Application Center Ahmedabad way back in 1992, where in those days GPS was not there. So one thing is satellite images. We use the satellite images for tracing the farmland or whatsoever. Okay, but please remember the height of that satellite, the distance, okay, of the satellite. It's like a very macro level. They give one particular mapping. Now, suppose you want a precision of 5 meter or 10 meter kind of land mapping. Please understand why you need that in the first place. The soil data will give you the soil analysis report, okay, NPK values and all. But typically, if you want to understand the slope terrain of that particular land at that particular moment of time, satellite plays an important role. Because if you're going to plant something at a very steep slope, then it's a problem. If suppose you want to cut all that particular land. Okay, there is something known as land filling and refilling. So if what kind of soil erosion is happening over there on the basis of water. So over there, this particular drone interventions are able to understand the slope analysis. Okay, so through slope analysis and contour generation, there are tools like ArcInfo. Okay, just for your information, there's something like tools like ArcInfo, which is able to create contours, and on that particular basis of the contours, you do a slope analysis. That slope analysis data with the soil data and the survey data, okay, we are able to understand in which survey number or which survey plot what kind of crop can be grown. So it's a big project in itself. Hello, hello,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. So next question is, what are the biggest challenges in adopting AI technologies in Indian agriculture?
The biggest challenge in adopting AI technology in Indian agriculture is your trust on AI itself. Because, see, please understand, Most of the Indian agriculture farmers, they are not kept their data. They don't know what they, if some, suppose you go to one particular farmer and ask that 10 years back what you built, they won't be able to tell. What kind of fertilizers you use, then we don't, they are not able to tell which supplier you were using. To see that whole traceability of a land, right from what you are cultivating, what fertilizers you are putting, and on that particular fertilizer, what kind of produce is coming, what kind of waste is happening, and what kind of export, what kind of input you have been doing for n number of years. All that data is needed. Then the AI will start training itself and giving you the good data sets. Okay, so the power of AI is great. AI will be able to do everything, like from detecting a leaf disease or a plant disease or the soil. Everything is possible through artificial intelligence. But we need to take baby steps. What is a baby step? Is that okay? First and foremost, let the farmers and the students and all first understand that okay, this is one research. Um, uh, we want to understand the core land problem in one particular region. First step is paper or a document. Afterwards, you have some farmer, some bunch of students as interns. They go there and check the land condition. They give actual inputs. Okay, that no, in this land this is possible, that was possible, this has been growing surprisingly. Sometimes it's a very surprise. You'll come to know that there is one suddenly something is growing. Again, then you need to go to the AI and say that why is this particular crop coming over here. Then we start keep training the AI and you'll start getting a good result. So AI investments, when we talk about AI investments, it takes at least minimum 3 months to 1 year. Because I work with BIF on almost all kind of solutions, including the cattle management, predicting the birth of livestock. Okay, there also AI can be used. Means is the cow going to be born for sure in X month or Y month and all? We have done everything. Name it in agriculture. I have done it all because I was part of the MIS team with BIF, and mostly I was managing large part of MIS. Okay, the thing what we want to tell is that each and every farmer or the farmer owners, they have to trust and they have to come up with their pain point, and accordingly the next step we can do is we can identify all the AI interventions before the next session. If one kind of a field survey is conducted by your organization and we come to know that okay, we are looking out for this is a pain point, this is, so we can come up with n number of solutions, and then we can take it one at a time. Hello.
Yeah, okay. Okay. And how can AI help reduce input cost while improving resource use efficiency?
The input cost will always come to, if you look at what is the biggest problem for one a farmer is that can I need a fertilizer or I don't need a fertilizer or pesticides. Now, in fertilizer, if I'm procuring one fertilizer at 5 rupees or 10 rupees kilo from somewhere, I'm just giving an example, okay, and that alternative fertilizer is available at 2 rupees or something, will I get the same yield with the 2 rupees fertilizer? So this is where AI can come in. Same way, I am selling this produce to one particular local market at 10 rupee per kg. Is there an alternative market available nearby vicinity where I can get in low cost? We have seen that these days a lot of retail large companies are actually taking the produce directly from the farmer. Are we part of that particular network? And also, um, to each and every bill of material element, we need to identify areas of improvement and cost can get reduced. So should I use one robo for putting the seeds, okay, or should a human being be used? How much water needs to be put? All that kind of a thing we can depends on. We need to see the bill of material, but it's very much possible that even if we replace even if we save 2 days or 3 days, okay, of water, or we save 20 kgs of fertilizer put into that particular farm for cultivation, we are saving the cost, correct?
Okay. Just couple of more questions. Oh, 1 second. Uh, yeah. Okay. So, what skills should young farmers and agri entrepreneurs develop effectively to effectively use AI in agriculture?
The first thing they have to get groomed is in prompt engineering. Second, they have to understand little bit of digital transformation, like some tools, like they need to know the MIS part of it. Most of the time, what happens is many of the agriculture students or farmers, they don't believe in technology for some strange reasons. Whatsoever is that they say that all this technology is useless. So that trust with technology is very important. When I used to implement this particular solutions, even with farmers. In Dharampur and all, no, it was the same story that it's of no use. Why we are doing it? Slowly, when they start entering the data, they start seeing the result. Then they start appreciating it. So first thing is willingness to learn. Second is adapting themselves. That okay, from human perspective, one particular AI detect human was right and AI was wrong. Okay, second, two examples, AI was right and human was wrong. Typically, what we observe in most of the individuals is we begin laughing if that AI is giving wrong results, correct? And they say that it's all rubbish. Now, that patience level is important. In AI, this concept is known as confusion matrix. Okay, false positive, false negative, true positive, and true negative. The patience to understand technology and embracing technology is the first advice which I'll give it to all the students, then rest automatically follows. Because if you will say that no, I am more better manually, I can do it more better, then it is as good like a doctor saying that I am more better, but then companies have started using bots for operating the patient. So we have to now begin understanding technology, take baby steps, and understand that yes, technology is going to be part and parcel of our day-to-day life. Understand technology, give voluntarily more and more inputs to that particular technology. Okay, you cannot hide information. More and more you give inputs to the technology, more and more you give what kind of scenarios where this technology can fail, this is prediction can fail. Then they can also get jobs in very large MNCs, because many MNCs they do need taggers, okay, for tagging the right classification, because classification tagging is very important. So they have to understand tagging and so on.
Okay. So, last two questions. Through Passion Infotech Private Limited and Pcombinator, what AI solutions have delivered the most measurable benefits to farmers?
The best benefit which we have observed is definitely the yield. Okay. Uh, to some farmers where we actually tried to get into for them yield. More importantly, they were more happy with reference to the asset management. Okay. When we say asset management, what happens? I am having a farm and I am saying that I want to produce jawar over there or whatever. And through AI, if I'm able to tell to them that oh, then Jawar, you're going to get a better yield, they'll be more happy. Okay, so that is where AI comes in. Minus the AI, many of the companies they like this asset management tracking is very important. One of the biggest challenge is warehouse movement from one warehouse to other warehouse. We support multiple startups. Okay, so there are a few startups under us who have also delivered this IoT based solution, no, for warehouse management and so on.
Okay. And last question. As the founder of two technology-driven companies, what advice would you give startups and agri entrepreneurs looking to build AI-based solutions for Indian agriculture?
The first advice which I would suggest is that you identify a pain point, okay, directly from the farmer. We should not jump into AI just for the sake of AI. First is get a pain point from the farmer. From there, what kind of AI solutions can be built? Okay, on that particular pain point, we need to see. Many of the AI presently is being used for precision farming. Okay, many of the we built one solution right now with the help of a student group where it was able to predict the age of one particular crop. Okay, means how much time, how old is rice, okay, how old is wheat. Now see, if you look at it, there is a rice and there is a wheat, and you will see that most of the shops will be having 100 and 1,000 kgs of rice and wheat stacked. And when we go there and say that I am needing 10 kgs of rice or wheat or something, as a end user, I am not understanding what is the age. Okay, but now this age can also have an impact. So why aging is needed? So let what I would suggest is the first thing is you have one particular survey questionnaire, understand what exactly is the pain point. Then for that particular point where we can begin using AI directly, don't jump into AI. Think of something where minus AI also solutions can it be worked. How much minimum we have to use LLM models. Okay, uh, all this plays a very important role. One of the thing which I would suggest is, suppose um someone is very passionate about say medicinal herbs, someone is focusing only on fruit, someone is focusing only on vegetables, someone is focusing only on chicken or poultry farming, someone is interested in sericulture, vermiculture. Take some examples, like if all of y'all will jump into one only domain, you're becoming like a Xerox shop. Then you have to compete with each other. Bring complementary interventions and then build multiple complementary products and solutions. So there we can we don't invest directly on the startup, but we can collaborate, co-create solutions. Okay.
Okay.
And just for the
Yeah.
benefit of all the audience, Pcombinator is an incubator accelerator, and we got benchmarked by UBI Global as top Asia Pacific Challengers Award in 2020-23, assessed in 2024. We also got benchmarked by Wilgrow Impact through third-party researchers like Harvard Business School and Chicago Business School, and we got a very excellent rating. Like most of the time, we are available. Okay, so it's more like a technology and research-driven organization. We have nearly right now under my name there are nearly around 25 plus research. Under my
Okay.
name there are 25 plus research papers in artificial intelligence, and with collaboration with colleges. We would be interested with more and more colleges and all if they want to have a collaboration jointly with all of you. We are open for all that. Okay.
Sure. Okay. That's very good to know. And hearty congratulations for all the awards
Yeah.
and your achievements. So hope our viewers will be benefited and listeners will be benefited from this talk and this
Yeah.
latest technology, and it will be useful for them in their own agricultural activities.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Prakash. So now we have come
Th-
to end of question round. Yeah, please.
okay then. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you. We'll end this meeting now. Thank you.
Sure. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.